Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. How y'all doing? The energy's been super intense. In fact, as I record this, is just the day before the new moon in Taurus, which I feel is being underestimated in terms of its intensity. I'll go into that in a minute. There is going to be a lengthy astrotarology intro. So if you want to jump ahead to the collective reading, I'll put a timestamp in the description box below, as well as if we need an extended, there'll be a link there. And I'm now open for personal sessions. Below is also a link for that. Anyway, you guys, what's happening with this new moon in Taurus happening on the 27th of April is that it's forming an exact fixed grand cross. Now, a grand cross in astrology happens when signs that are, okay, let me see if I can explain this. When signs that are all part of the same energy group, fixed, cardinal, or mutable, occupy major planets at exactly the same degree, it forms literally what is called a grand cross. And that amplifies the energy of all of the signs involved when that occurs. Well, this time we're dealing with the fixed signs, which is Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. To me, the most intense energies in astrology anyway, because the fixed signs represent the peak of the seasons. They happen right in the middle, right? Like Leo is the middle of summer, Aquarius is the middle of winter. So the energy is very, very much at its peak. And we're experiencing that right now as we move towards this new moon. We have the sun and moon at 7 and 5 degrees of Taurus. We have Mars at 4 degrees of Leo, very, very powerfully. Pluto at 3 degrees of Aquarius. And so we have Pluto and Mars in opposition the day before we have the new moon. Pluto and Mars in opposition is incredibly intense as well. Now, very importantly, and where I'm going to focus most of this talk, is that the dark moon, Lilith, is in the fixed sign of Scorpio, which is opposing, of course, where the sun in this new moon is. In fact, it's going to stay part of this grand cross until I think the end of July. Don't quote me on that. Now, Lilith is not a planet or an asteroid. It is a mathematical point. It is the moon's furthest point from Earth. And right now it's in opposition signs. In your own chart and in psychological and sexual astrology, Lilith represents your hidden parts, your hidden desires, all the parts that are considered taboo. Now, whether that be by external judgments such as society or, what's accepted, more often than not, especially if we're talking about in psychological sexual astrology, it represents what's taboo to you. And again, now we want to associate, and this is, I'll tell you the mythology of Lilith in just a moment. But again, we want to associate taboos with judgment, meaning that they're bad. Taboos just mean something that you haven't explored, something that you might be afraid to, because it would upset your apple cart, especially when we're talking about the sun and moon in Taurus and Lilith in Scorpio. And it's so interesting to me that Lilith is in Scorpio. It entered on March the 27th. And that's so interesting to me because Scorpio rules the 8th house, which is the house of taboo, the house of the hidden, the house of the psyche and the unknown. When you're dealing with the fixed signs and like I mentioned, the intensity, a lot of the words that power words, key words that exemplify the energy of the fixed signs would be creativity, passion, heart, autonomy, destiny, courage, love, money, transformation, and to me, most important, rebellion. Yes, the fixed signs are the rebels. So each in their own way. There's the quieter kind. I'm talking to Taurus and Aquarius. And then there's the more overt kindness, Leo and Scorpio, the kind that will put it up front in the fight for their own beliefs, for their own individuality, for their own sense of what makes them happy, autonomy. And that's huge with the fixed signs, even when it's in a quieter way, like Earth Venus, which is Taurus. But what Taurus is essentially doing is finding ways. Taurus is the Empress in tarot. It's about finding ways that which seems to work against you can be transmuted into what does. That's the job of Venus. That's the job of Taurus. And when we're talking about the black moon, Lilith, it isn't about, okay, I'll get to that in a minute. You guys know what my brain does. Okay, it isn't about the denial of the dark side. And we'll get into the mythology now because that becomes important. It's about the integration, the utilization, the creative application, the Venus energy that balances that out again, especially when it's in Scorpio and Taurus, which is amazing. And Scorpio brings with it the unflinching eye as well to explore that. You can extrapolate that out into the collective because it does apply. It is about looking at what's been hidden because it is in the denial of that that keeps us back. It's all about integration. And that is certainly what Taurus understands. Now, the mythology around Lilith is that she was the first wife of Eve. Of Eve. What? Okay. Taboos, right? She was the first wife of Adam. But because she was daring enough to explore the taboos, which is that she must be dominated, when it came to sexual expression, Lilith wanted to dominate, and that was unacceptable. It's like a power position. And so it became Eve's job. She was literally from the rib of, right, to be Adam's wife. But I don't myself, as an astrologer or even in this mythology, do I separate the two. For me, Lilith and Eve are two parts of the same self. And the integration of, like I said, Eve is smarter than Lilith in the mythology because she knew that in order to be happy, to build, to obtain, and to find that balance, it was going to require careful integration of that taboo, whatever that taboo is. So that's pretty interesting. What else was I going to say? Right now, also, we have Uranus, the planet of change in Taurus, but Uranus rules Aquarius, again, fellow fixed. And also, we have Pluto involved. So that's the psyche, that's the past life, that's the hidden, that's taboo. But anyway, Uranus in Taurus, sudden change, it is upsetting the norm, the comfort zone. And with passionate Mars in Leo, it is about fighting for the autonomy of what your heart desires and having the courage to do that. New moons are all about manifesting, yes. But for me, again, as an astrologer, it's like the full moon reveals what needs to be released. Over the next 2 weeks, the process of that release happens and it reaches like a crescendo on the new moon so that you can open up to what comes next. And consider that when we're dealing with Venus and Taurus energy. Venus on a new moon with all of this other stuff happening around it is very potent. Now, Uranus in Taurus, ruler of Aquarius again, yes, about change, but it's also about seeing things in your own unique way, your own unique expression. That's what the fixed signs are really all about, even if it's strange. Uranus is a strange planet. That's why it's not comfortable in Taurus. But sudden change for the greater good, for growth, for freedom of expression. Again, the fixed signs are all about the fight for freedom. They're the crescendo energy. There's going to be a full moon in Scorpio on the 12th of May, opposite sign again. Lilith will still be there, and that's fascinating. I'll go a lot more into that when we have that full moon. But when that happens, just as a little flash preview, the sun is at 22 degrees of Taurus and the full moon's at 22 degrees of Scorpio. That's just surrounded by potency that we'll get into at that time. Anything else I wanted to say? So anyway, we're dealing with that hidden side of the self here, the hidden truth and what's worth fighting for, the passion to stand for it. whether that is in a love relationship or in your creative expression or just in who you are and your sense of self. This new moon in Taurus is about you. What makes you feel valued? What makes you feel loved? And that is about knowing that for yourself before you manifest that. All right, you guys, let's get into the reading. It's going to still be a general reading. It's for anybody, any sign. You'll know if you resonate with it. Keep in mind, it is general, though, so you won't resonate with everything that I say. Just take what does and leave what doesn't, as always. If anybody else appears in the spread, it could be vice versa. We'll start off with the Sacred Rebels and see where this goes. Big, bold vision. I love this card so much. Well, that's Mars and Leo. Leo represents creativity. It represents that sun, that illumination, and that big, bright energy. This could be, again, about what you see and the passion you have to fight for it. Okay. Let's get another one. I happen to see on the bottom of the deck, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Interesting. Let's have one more, actually, from Big Bold Vision. Okay, you know what is jumping out to me is that Big Bold Vision is number 15. There's no tie into tarot. The number 15 in the major arcana is the devil. We'll see if it comes up. If it does, I'll get into why. That's why. We have Pandora's Gift. Pandora's Gift. This can be, again, about keeping back that unique vision, that light that shines from your own heart. That's where the big, bold vision comes from. But it's kind of being filtered through this mask. It is very intense energy, yes, but it's about exploring that within you. And also with Relax the Hold of Darkness, it is that which could be your calling or what's calling to you right now. Let's get a wisdom of the oracle. Beautiful. There's a lot of illumination. And okay. 3, really? Tick-tock. Look at the hands just throwing the clock. It looks like it's jumping straight out at you. This is about timing. It's about right now, right here and now. Okay? Last energy. Pandora's Gift. Okay. And then we have clean it up. Interesting, this Virgo energy coming into the picture. Clean it up is about doing things the right way. It can be about wrapping up the past. We'll see where this goes. Okay, I'll put astrology at the end. Let's jump into the reading. I guess I want the lights here. Pretty much jumped into my hand. Okay, let's take a look. What are you leaving behind? As I mentioned, new moons are about release as much as they are about welcoming. The moon jumps out. Interesting, right? Look at this mermaid. Always stands out for me in the beautiful light seer moon, Cancer energy. But she's like transfixed by the light of the moon there. The moon is about what you don't see. It's about the hidden stuff, about mysteries. We have big, bold vision. And then the 8 of Wands, which is a lot of illumination. I have that here. Okay. Of course, we're going to clarify. Let me see you now. What energy are you in? Okay. The 4 of Swords. And the first thing that I thought about is hiding your light behind a bushel for some reason. I don't even know where that wording comes from. It's not my language. The 4 of Swords is a time of rest and integration, but it's like, look how she's all curled up on herself in that nest, keeping it tucked away. Relax the hold of darkness. Before the 4 of Swords comes the 3 of Swords, and that is about difficult lessons learned. Maybe that's why you're holding the mask up to your gift there. We'll see. Could be something coming through to you in a time of rest, time of dreaming. Well, We got the Three of Wands on the bottom of the deck, fire energy, big, bold vision. This is my wish casting card. She's standing on the edge of this, whatever, cliff, bluff, waiting for the wave to come in that she knows is there. Okay. Let's see what's coming up next. What are you bringing in? Another four. Another four. The Four of Pentacles. We have Earth energy. There's that clean it up. And the Four of Pentacles is about a restoration of stability. It's building towards something a lot more stable, but it's kind of like a moment of rest. We have that with the Four of Swords now. On the bottom of the deck, I happen to see the Emperor, Mars energy, Divine Masculine. The Emperor is number 4. We have number 4 and number 4. The Emperor's an energy about control. Okay. Let me see the energy surrounding you. This could be somebody else. It could be a furthering of your actions here. Let's see. Surrounding energies. The Page of Swords, right? The Page of Swords is studious, curious, standing back and observing. And I do get that, standing back and observing. It's like keeping it tucked under. I keep getting that, keeping your light tucked under. And that's bringing to mind this Pandora's gift. But the Page of Swords is about observing from a distance, wanting more information, watching. And there Leo's coming through with strength. Leo's major arcana, holding back, keeping it back, the passion. Okay. Let me see the challenge for you. Why are you, I was going to say, why are you afraid to unleash it? Aquarius comes through with the Queen of Swords. And that's who's responsible for the Page of Swords. This can be, again, about overthinking. Queen of Swords is brilliant. This is somebody who's learned lessons the hard way. But certainly somebody who is not about to just, be swept away by passion. The Eight of Wands. Potential outcome. She wants to make a very smart decision. That's why you're holding all of that passion back with the Eight of Wands. Keeps coming out in the bottom. Potential outcome. Look, Eight of Wands. Keeps coming out on the bottom. Oh, we have the King of Wands. That's why Leo energy. The King of Wands is very integrity driven, but when his passion is engaged, he will fight for what he wants. He's the king of the jungle. He has a lot of belief in himself and his ability to lead the way when it comes to handling this. He's very magnetic, a natural leader. Now, this could be somebody that you've got your eye on, this King of Wands. It could be yourself as well, like a transformation coming out of the mind and into your confidence. But we'll see. I mean, Pandora's gift is this king, for sure. Okay, let's start clarifying. I feel like we need the Pope. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let me see the moon. No, a whole chunk, but I will show the Seven of Pentacles. And that, again, is a card about kind of holding back and reassessing Pandora's gift. How do I want to reveal this? Reveal with the moon. That can be about making plans, too. Okay, let me see the moon. This is what you're letting go of. There's major arcana with the sun. The sun and the moon. Wow. Big, bold vision. Okay. Now, this can be about having the confidence to take it out of the hidden. We'll see where this goes, but the sun is rebirth. It's Leo energy. It's warmth, happiness, and joy. It's passion. Okay. Masculine and feminine energy with the sun and the moon. That's very interesting. Let me see the sun. The Six of Wands, keeping yourself hidden. The Six of Wands and the Sun is about shining brightly. It's about allowing yourself to be seen, to be this King of Wands, male or female. That's certainly their territory. This Ace of Cups, okay. Now that can be about self-love as well, but it is a brand new beginning. Okay. So Four of Swords, this is where you are right now. Big, bold vision. That Six of Wands in the Sun is big and it's bold. Again, I'll say it could come to you in your sleep. It could come to you intuitively. Oh, wow. Oh. Ooh, okay. On the bottom of the deck with that Eight of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Sag energy. It's my let go or be dragged card. It is about destiny. And we saw that Eight of Wands. That's fast movement. Big talk. Oh, I see. Now with the Four of Swords comes the Two of Cups. Is that what you saw? Soulmate energy. Venus in Cancer, the Two of Cups is my heart to heart and eye to eye. It's partnership, but it's very sweet. It's very balanced. And there's destiny involved in that. Yeah, Ace of Swords, the truth, clarity, destiny. Can I see the Two of Cups? Guys, look who came out. The Devil. I had a feeling. Big, bold vision. Now, the devil gets such a bad reputation in tarot in general, in my opinion. It's Saturn energy. It is about the things that we see for our own good. The devil is the parts of you that are hidden. Big, bold vision. The passionate part of you. Ace of Wands. Very strong sexual energy here attached to that sweetness of the Two of Cups, which is nice. Can I see the Two of Cups? I knew that devil was going to come out. It's the moon. Now the moon with the Four of Swords. And then the Two of Cups in the middle. That's intuition. That's dreams. And there's that, okay. The Empress. Interesting. We saw the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, remember? Venus energy. Taurus and Libra. Taurus moon here. Let me see the Four of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups makes its return. Now, the aces are all about new beginnings, yes, but they're the possibility of it. And this is the possibility of the Ten of Cups, the everything card. A lot of you could be holding back, yeah, Four of Cups. That's the third four. I could be dealing with a divine masculine energy here, but get in where you fit in. I just need a sip, you guys. I'm sorry. It's cherry blossom season in my city, and although beautiful, it comes at a price, like usual, which we may have here. Anyway, that's holding on to the possibility of a new beginning. Okay. Let me see the Ace of Cups, but it's also holding back what you want, because that devil came in the subconscious. The Queen of Pentacles, I see. Okay. Earth energy. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is about trying to do what's good for you, right? This is Taurus energy. But interesting how she's holding out that pentacle like she's examining it. What can I make from this new beginning? What can I build? You have this Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles knows what's good for her. But as I was mentioning, she can transmute energy. Old vision. And holding it back. Why? Let me see the Page of Swords in the surrounding energy. Interesting. We have the Knight of Swords, but the Page is one step down. This is about wanting to communicate, to take that sword of truth. Remember, we saw the Ace of Swords? To take that sword of truth and come in and communicate. Whatever it is here that you've been holding back, whatever dream came to you, there was some kind of certainty. But again, holding back and watching, look what it is. It's the Ten of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. The Ten of Cups is the everything card, as I always say, though. Only you know what fills those cups for you. Happiness, joy, family, peace, harmony. But Pandora's gift, I mean, that is maybe the belief in happiness is that taboo for you. Maybe that's part of it. It could be. Let me see the Knight of Swords. And it cups again. And we have the Seven of Swords. See, the Aquarius energy. The Seven of Swords is about mental strategy. Swords are our thoughts. It's our mind. And this is navigating very carefully through your own mindset. It could be you're standing back. There's something you want to say. There's something you know. For some of you, that can be the case. But the Seven of Swords takes me to the moon. Keeping something hidden. That Pandora's gift and that big bold vision. Okay. Why is the Queen of Swords part of the challenge here? Why are you holding all this back? The Five of Wands, which is interesting because the Six of Wands is here in the recent past underneath the moon. The Five of Wands is about internal challenge, but I call it the same old song and dance where you come up against blocks in your own self. This can again be about overthinking. Let me see the Five of Wands. It can be people around you. Maybe what you want is maybe there's a lot of competition, and that's why the King of Wands is necessary. It could be the Three of Wands. We already saw the Three of Wands. I like this too. This Three of Wands, she's dressed up like an ocean explorer, and we saw the Ten of Cups, which is basically the depths of the water energy. And this is about wanting to explore that and the possibilities. Oh yeah, Eight of Wands. You're definitely passionate. You definitely see something you want. One more on the Three of Wands. The Nine of Wands. Wands is the wounded warrior. This is about having the passion to complete a cycle that you fought very hard for. Remember I said the Queen of Swords comes by her wisdom honestly. Interesting. We saw the Ace of Wands. That makes it a complete cycle. Okay, let's move to this King of Wands in the potential outcome. Big, bold vision. See it. Let go or be dragged. Destiny, Ace of Swords. Amazing. Wait a minute. Were these two on the bottom of the deck? I can't remember. I feel like they came in together. But there's you speaking it. There is you telling the truth, having the confidence to. What is it? What is it with the wheel? Look at you guys. It is the Emperor. We definitely have some kind of union coming together. The Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is about carefully planting seeds. And we saw Seven of Pentacles back here. Now this could be communication or an offer. Let me see. One more on that Knight of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Taurus energy with the Hierophant. That new moon in Taurus. The Hierophant is about what you believe in. But it can be, and we talked about that without the King of Wands here, the courage to go against traditional belief systems, to do it your way. What is valuable to you? The Knight of Pentacles is about what's valuable to you as well. Now, this could be you wanting to make some kind of stable offer. I keep seeing the Ten of Cups. I keep seeing the Two of Cups and the Moon. That could be what you're hiding. I'll go one more with that Hierophant, and then we're going to move to some oracles. Let me see. The Hierophant. I did see, that was like 4 cards, and I just want one, but I did see the Page of Wands, communication. The Hierophant. With death and rebirth. Interesting, because we have the Sun here. Oh, we end with the Hierophant and death and rebirth. Okay. Pandora's gift. You know what? How can I stop there? Let me see death. I think this is you transforming. Death and rebirth came out again. Oh. And then I see Cancer on the bottom of the deck with the Chariot. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know how there's a light horse and a dark horse there? In order for the Chariot to move with any kind of success or victory, the Chariot is our life. It is about the integration of those two energies, the dark and the light. What's hidden, what's seen, the sun, the moon, right? Both sides of you. And you have to be in alignment or the Chariot isn't moving forward. But with death and rebirth, I believe that's what's happening here. One more. Two of Swords. And then the Chariot wanted to come out again. Okay. I get it. All right. Now, this could involve travel for some of you as well, or relocation. Let's go to the blue deck. What else do we have for whoever's resonating with this? If you happen to be a Taurus, or you watched that Taurus video that I last did, you'll remember the number 7 was coming up really, really prominently, Taurus. And I kept saying, Uranus has been in your sign for 7 years, which actually I don't think was correct. But since then, I found out Uranus leaves Taurus on July the 7th day of the 7th month. And maybe that's why it kept coming up. Adjacent possibilities. This is interesting. Look at all of the possibilities here. We have doors open on the walls, on the floor, even on the ceiling. But right there at the end is the obvious door. It is the obvious choice. So this isn't for lack of options. There's maybe death and rebirth. There's a different way to do this. How you do it. The Hierophant. Commitment. Whatever that means for you. And then we have cornucopia, which is basically the Ten of Cups. It's not just about money. It's about everything. Okay. Cornucopia is quite a Taurus-like energy, and this can be about a different way of getting what you want. King of Wands wants what he wants. We have the Angel of Balance coming out, and that's that careful integration. One more. And then woman holding a coin, the Queen of Pentacles, and a journey. And I did mention travel. Interesting. One more. Angel of Strength. Well, we saw the Strength card, Leo energy coming through, and there's Mars taking action. Angel of Strength, Leo, the courage, the passion, the conviction, and the ability to be a leader in your own life. Okay, let's get a couple of astrology cards. I don't think we need to extend this. I can see exactly where it's going. I mean, we end with the Chariot. which is getting into that alignment and going for what you want. Again, there definitely could be travel. We have solar flares, which have been happening ever since last year in a big, big way. And then the sun, wow. Cancer energy coming through. Mars just left Cancer. It was there for 8 months, but since I was talking about July the 7th, that's Cancer season, and we end with the Chariot, Cancer energy, that could be when this change happens for you. King of Wands emerges at the end. One more. Oh, these two. The second house, which is Taurus's house. For a lot of you, this can have to do with a career. 6 of Wands and the Sun, about allowing yourself to be seen, coming out of that hiding, the debilitated or discomfort. Yeah, maybe that's why you're keeping it tucked away. Okay, let's do some talisman. Consider these to be like power words that you can take away from the reading with you if they resonate. Safe travel. Interesting, with the Chariot a bunch of times. What else? Cut ties. Death and rebirth. Wonder what you're cutting ties with. That's what that clean it up is. You don't want to leave any lingering ties. I see. Maybe this Queen of Swords. Okay. I'll leave it there. Let's have another one. Blessed day and eternal charisma. We have all of that Scorpio energy of death and rebirth. This is you. Like I said, maybe this is your transformation happening. I think that it is. This King of Wands is truly who you are and who's emerging. The elixir of life, 10 of Cups. Beautiful. All right, my friends, I'm going to close it off. Oh, all right, we'll do the moon. We'll do the moon. We've come this far. Let's get a moon card. I will do a love reading as well around all of this energy. We have full moon in Libra, find balance. We have the angel of balance. Okay. Oh yeah, the Chariot, the dark and the light. Sun and moon. Interesting. Okay. New moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. Okay. And one more. Yeah, well, there are 4 of Swords, right? And then full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. That's exactly where we leave this with the King of Wands. Inspired action. All right, now let's close it off with a card from the Lover's Oracle. These can come out as advice, so certainly take it only as it resonates. Of course, as with the whole reading. Balance. Interesting. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Okay. I wonder if there was... Let's see that here. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. I don't know, for some of you with this 5 of Wands, 9 of Wands, Queen of Swords, there could have been some going back and forth between the two of you. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. And that's what we're talking about at the end, having the courage, right? All right, you guys, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonated some. I hope it helped. I love you guys very much. Very, very intense energies. Like I said, I'll do a love-focused one, and we'll see if this kind of energy comes back. I'll see you soon, my friends. Namaste.